Yes, students. Today we have a topic numerical on the backpropagation. So before starting the backpropagation, just let me give some idea about the what is mean by the backpropagation in 1 or 2 minutes in any neural network. As we know, we are doing the any activity by following the various layers. One is the input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. So when you try to solve any problem by taking the some data at the input layer, then your information will pass from input layer to hidden layer. And after the computation and after the calculation, of course, or feature extraction approaches, just like if you try to solve the problem on the image, then what you're trying? You are just trying to pass your information to the output layer, but there is no guarantee the what we have decided or the desired result we are getting or the actual output we are getting the same manner. No, so there may be difference between the desired result and expected result, or we can say the actual result. So the error we are getting, that is required to minimize. So the purpose of the ultimate aim of using the backpropagation to minimize the error. So from this perspective, from this aspect, we need to start our topic, that is the backpropagation. Theoretically, this portion we have already discussed a few days ago. We have seen this concept, and 2 days back of this concept we have also covered. So for understanding this approach, we will have a very simple numerical here. But let us understand how backpropagation works. And this approach totally understandable by here with the help of the numerical example. So here I am sharing an image over here with the help of the its weights. But I1, I2, so these are the two features or two inputs. So input here contain the two important nodes. One is I1 and I2. So I1 and I2 is what? These are the two features of the our problem as we have decided. And H1, H2 are the our important two hidden node at the hidden layer. So how many hidden layers we have? Only the one hidden layer. And how many output layer? We have the two output layer. From this perspective, we can understand here we have our neural network, and which is known as the single feed forward neural network. Okay, so why I'm not saying the multiple? Because here we are not having the multiple hidden layer. So one input layer, one hidden layer, one output layer we have. So we can say it is only the simple our neural network, and that is also example of the artificial neural network, of course. So this image is perfectly visible to all. Just let me know the image is visible. So W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, W6, W7, W8, all these are the our weights of the neural network model. And you can able to see what is mean by the B1, B2. B1, B2 is the bias of the or bias of the this or neural networks. Okay, so whenever we have the bias, then we can add. So you can observe over here, we are adding the two bias over here. One is B1. B1 bias is added to the upper hidden node. Okay, so these are the options, but here we are using. So according to the our this image, we will try to learn. We will try to solve our problem, and that is the point you people keep in mind, right? So when I'm using any bias, just I'm using the V1 bias. So it would be connected to the H1, then it must also be connected to the H2. So you can make the you can assign the bias only the one hidden node. You people are required to assign the bias of the each and every node or the at the particular hidden layer. Same thing we have to go through the output layer. So if I'm adding the bias at the output layer to provide the efficiency of the my model, so what I have, so I need to assign the bias of the my each and every node at the particular layer, that is the output layer I have. So this is this graph which shows our information, and from this perspective we will try to solve our problem. But we must have some numerical data. So far we are not having the numerical data because the calculation requires the numerical data. So that is my portion right now. So in the next slide, we will have the numerical data. Just what is the value of the W1, W2, W4, W5, or weights as well as the bias and its input features. So let us understand this concept right now. Okay. So this image is visible right now. Tell me right now, this image is perfectly visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the next image is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here everyone
Yes.
okay, good. So please open your eyes and ears carefully, because from this step we will not go back. We will move to the next step to understand the concept. Please listen carefully. This is the image which contain the details of the numerical values. As I told you, B1, B2, these are the Y's. So it contains the some values in the colors. You can represent the its values. So that is I1, I2 is also our important part of the input layer. So I1, I2 is our input node, and it contains its values, and that is the 0 point, say 0.05 and 0.10. So I1 value will be the 0.05, and I2 value contain the 0.10. And W1, W2, W3, W4, all these values are given over here. And what are these? These are our weights. And output we are getting at the last in the color, you can see blue color, that is the output O1 is providing the result 0.01, zero point 0.01, while O2 output providing the result 0.99. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. Everything we have to take care properly. So from this perspective, just what is our next step we have to do? Next step is saying to us, you people are required to calculate the feed forward neural network. Okay, so for calculating or the for doing this activity, so let us understand the step properly. So what is it done over here? In order to we have to some numbers to work, because without the any values or any numerical values, if we don't have, then how we can calculate the its weights or its other information on which we can justify the answer. So these values you people are required to keep in mind properly. Okay, so just you can draw this diagram on your sheets right now. Please do fast. Okay, now tell me right now you are drawing this graph or this neural network.
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
Okay. So today you people, I'm expecting the answer from your sides. So please do fast. And in between, you people are required to listen the concept. So what is the point at hidden layer? What we need to do? We need to calculate the input value of the hidden layer. That is the point. You people are required to keep in mind some words. You are required to calculate the input of the hidden layer. So how we can calculate? If you remember the idea as we have discussed, how we can calculate? Yes, tell me. How we can calculate?
Summation of x into w, sir.
Uh, there is only simple formula. What is the formula?
Sir, summation of xi wi.
Yeah, okay. So we need to calculate the its input value. So very frankly speaking, as I told you, any node in the neural network, of course, I'm not talking about the input layer. I'm talking about the hidden layer and output layer is divided into the two parts. Okay, so that is the point. Because input layer is just having one value, that is the values. From with the multiply by the weights, we will provide the inputs as the output of the input layer. But as a hidden layer, we must have a sum of. So I'm just drawing the node like this one. Just see the slide. It divided by the two parts as we have discussed. That is its input. Any node will divide into two part. One is the input part, another one is output. So from this perspective, you will able to see when I just need to calculate the input value of this node at any layer, then what is the input of this portion? So how we can say? So the input will be the of this node at a hidden layer. Of course, I'm talking right now about the hidden layer. Will be the output of the input layer. So the output which is to be generated by the input layer will be the output of it will be input of the hidden layer. So yeah, that is the point. So this H1 node is connected by the W1 and W2. Okay, so now it is clear. This H1 is connected by the W1 and W2, and this is the how many input we have? Two inputs, I1 and I2. Okay, so that is the point you people are required to keep in mind. So from this perspective, we can easily say H1 will be connected by the W1 and W3, not W2. Because that is the portion you people are required to keep in mind. So from this perspective, we can easily say which node, which weights are required to calculate. So can you able to get the value of the H1 as an input? So W1 and W2 is the weight of the hidden node, which is to be applicable over here. Okay. So, but before calculating, so just let me give some more theoretical. So just let me know right now the diagram is clear and diagram is drawn. Okay. So did you draw diagram?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us move to the next part and see step by step. We will see. So our first step is saying to us we need to use the forward propagations. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. And now it is given over here the weight and the y's we are using right now. Y's we have the two y's. Okay, the values we are giving into the some specific. So everything is given. Okay, but we need to focus on the our blue yellow highlighted point over here. So we need to figure out the total net input of each hidden layer neuron and squash the total net input using an activation function. So here we have to use a logistic function. So can you tell me what is mean by the logistic function? Logistic function, I mean to say right over here we are talking about the sigmoid function. So activation function we will use over here sigmoid. So for your hint purpose, I'm just writing over here, and you can utilize your sigmoid function. And this work we have already discussed with the help of the one example. Okay, that is a sigmoid. And then we will repeat this process. We will repeat this process to get our output properly, and this is a iterative process. So here, if I'm just coming back to this point right now, so the input or the value can be calculated by the hidden layer by using the simple formula. And what is the formula? And if you remember the formula, then I can write over here summation of wi into xi or xi into wi. It doesn't mean and plus b. Okay, plus b, and I will be 1 to n. Okay, so for your helping purpose, I'm just marking the things, and it is perfectly clear to you. W1 is a weight, W2 is a weight, which is the weight of W2 is the weight of the I2, and I1 is also having a weight W1. So with this perspective, you will able to see if we need to calculate the input values of this H1, and that input value is also known as the net value actually. Okay, so this value is known as the net value. So what we need to calculate from these steps, we need to calculate the net value of the H1. Okay, so now this point is clear. What we need to calculate? We need to calculate the net value of the H1. Now, can you calculate? Now, From this step, you will able to calculate the net value of the H1. Yes, tell me. And what is the value you are getting? Please do
Yes, sir.
fast. Okay, so use the formula and calculate the value. Okay, and one thing I'm just inform you all once again. Just let me get this one. B1 is also having the its value, that is 0.35. Okay, so that is a point you people are required to keep in mind. Okay, so that is a important aspect. And what is the value of the B1, the device? So that is, we have the 1.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Sir, H1 is
So,
0.3.
in the
One by one, you can ask the question.
sir, I was just asking why have you added 6 in that formula?
Where? No, it's not 6. It's a B. Actually, B means bias. It's a B1 actually.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay, I can update this one. Is B1 actually? It's B1. Okay, and see, see here, 0.35 is a weight of this bias, and this bias also contains on values, that is 1. So what you need to do, you need to multiply the bias. You need to add the bias value, but it's also having own weight. Then its weight will be multiplied the bias value. So this is I'm just multiply for your betterment. I can update the formula b1 into weight of the bias. Okay, so I can represent w vw. Okay, so vw means I'm talking about the base weight, bias weight, that is a 0.35. Okay, so this is the steps you have to take care. So wixi is what, that is the weight and input. This is the main part. But bias is, if bias is given, then we can add the bias, that is the 1. So you can observe over here the bias value we are given over here, that is a 1. That is a b1 value will be the 1, but its weight is also given, that is a W. So W is what? W is the weight of the bias, that is a 0.35. So this weight should be multiplied with the bias, and that is a, you will keep in mind. Okay. So now, did you got the answer right now? You can use a calculator to solve this problem. So ultimate, what you are getting right now, you are getting the net value. Okay.
0.3825, sir. I'm getting
0.3.
3825.
Okay, but I have the solution 0.3775. So maybe the little bit calculation you are doing wrong. So you can update your calculations.
Sir, it is 0.3825. My also, it is coming 0.38.
Okay, okay. So 0.1, I will share the solution, no problem. And in between, you can also calculate the out value of the H1. So how we can calculate the out value? Just let me explain. So just first let us understand the its net value. So this input values we are talking about, that is what we are doing. Input means we are talking about the net value. We are calculating the net value. So you have calculated the net value. So how you have calculated? It's simple formula. See, 0.05 multiplied by the 0.15, okay, plus 0.10 multiplied by 0.20, okay, and then last you will you will add 1 multiplied by 0.35. So you will get the answer. Just let me hear my answer. Any other student who is not able to understand this calculation, so just let me know the status right now. Any other student who is not able to understand this step, just let me know. Just tell me the step is clear how we are getting, because this step is we have already calculated. That's why I'm asking. Just tell me.
Clear,
Please
sir.
explain once more.
Okay, because it is the most important step. So I'm just I explain once again. Please use paper and pencil. See, net one we are calculating. So how we are calculating net one values? See, if we're talking about the calculating the net one value of the H1. So how many inputs we have and how many inputs are connected? I1 and I2. I1 and I2 is connected. Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So the value of the I1 and I2 will be multiplied by the its respectively weights. So we have the W1 and W2. So I am marking over here in the circle way, so you can see over here. So the input value of the I1 and I2 will be multiplied by its respectively weight over here, and then at the last we have to add its bias value. So we have given the bias value 1 over here, and see its weight is also given. If it is weight is also given, then we have to multiply its weight to its bias. Weight is not given, then it's okay. So we will add only bias value. That is the point. So after doing calculation, you will get the 0.03, 0.3775, or maybe close to that value. No issue, you are getting, it's okay. So that's why I'm saying you people are required to use now calculator, or what do you want to use, you can use. Okay, you can use. So this time I'm just going to sharing the solution right now. See, this is the step. So net input value for the H1. So I'm drawing the diagram H1. H1 is my node, and what I'm calculating the net value. I'm talking about I'm calculating the net value. Okay, so net value, if I'm calculating its net value, then how I can calculate it with simple formula, as I told you my previously. So net H1 means W1 into I1, W2 into I2, and B1 into 1. What is the value of the B1? That is a, what is the weight? 0.35, and bias we have the 1. So that is the point we are doing the multiply its values. Okay, so that is it. Everything is given over here. So at the last, we will get this value 0.3775. Yes. So you are getting the different value or same value?
Sir, W1 and W2 are connected to I1, or W1 and W3 are connected to I1? I'm not understanding that. Because we have used 0.25 for calculating H1.
Which one? Just which one? From this diagram, W1 is connected to the I1, W2 is connected to the I2.
Okay, sir.
I've already spoken to 3 times. So why you are speaking? Why you are asking again? I have already spoken 3 times. I1 is connected to, so W1 is connected to the I1, and W2 is the weight of the I2. So that's why I'm marking the circle over here. That is the reason. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So after doing this calculation, you will get the 0.3755. That's why I'm saying just please rectify the calculation. So that is the reason I'm asking once again. You are getting the same answer, different answer. So this is the net one value. It means I'm talking about its input value of the H1, and its next part that would be the its out value. Okay. So how we can calculate the out values? This out value means we are talking about the how we can activate the such node. That is the point. So out value will be calculated by the activation function. Okay. So which activation function we are using? Sigmoid logistic function. So you can use the formula, and what is the formula? 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus x. So here, what is the x? X means net H1 value. Okay. So just let me know right now the value, how we are getting this value. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you all get this, or did you all are getting these values, same values, or your people are getting the different values? Calculate
Getting the same answer.
same answer. Okay, good. So now it's time to calculate the out value of the H1. Okay. So now if we need to calculate the out value of the H1, as I'm speaking once again, so this is what actually, this is the net value of the H1. So if I'm just trying the H1 node right now, if I'm designing the H1 node and I'm dividing, so first part will be the net one, net value, and this net value of the H1. So other part I need to calculate, that is to be done by the out value of the H1. Okay. So out value H1 will be calculated by the our activation functions. As I told you, our activation function. Okay. So after this one, if I'm using activation functions, of which activation function I am using right now, I'm using the sigmoid, and that is a logistic function. Okay. So activation function you people are required to use. So when I'm using the activation function, that is sigmoid or logistic activation function, so what is the formula? It's very simple formula. I'm once again writing 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus x. Okay. And from this perspective, so what is the x actually? This x is what? X is the input values. So what is the input value? What is net value? That is a 0.775. Okay. And that is to be directed over here, this value. And after putting these values, we will get the new value of we will get the out value of the our H1 node at the header layer 0.593269992. That is the value. So this point is clear. How we are getting all these values? The concept is clear.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so respectively, if we're talking about the once again this diagram, so we have to calculate the H2 out value. We have to calculate the net value of the H2. So if you want to calculate the out value of the H2 node, then first you are required to calculate the net value of the H2 node. Okay, so directly right now I'm sharing only the output value, and that is required portion. So you can see over the things, the out value of the H2 we are getting the 0.59688. You please note down all these values because it will be applicable to solve your problem. So you can note down the net value of the H1 directly from this solution over here, and out value of the H1 H2 directly. So you can just copy all these values on your register or notebook, whatever you are using, paper, pencil. Okay, so use paper and pencil to note down all these values because I can ask these values randomly. Okay, note it down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have been observed an important point over here as I'm speaking again. What you're observing, you have been observed the important point over here. See, this is what we have done the same thing with the H1, and now after H1, that is our hidden node or is a hidden layer, we have H1, H2. These are two nodes. So if I'm moving or we are forwarding our concept solving our problem, then what is the next layer? That is a hidden layer or output layer. Because if we have multiple hidden layers, we can have, but here we have only the one hidden layer, so no issue. But when talking about the next layer, so we have the output layer. So in the output layer, we have been observed our important point over here. This W5 is a weight which is connected to the our output O1. W6 is a weight which is connected to the our output O1. And but before determining the weight, just let us understand how many nodes are connected, H1 or H2. So O1 is our output node and which is connected by the H1, H2. These are the two nodes. Okay. And respectively, we have the its weights, that is W5 and W6. Now this point is clear. This point is clear.
Yes, sir.
So what is our responsibility? So what is the next? What is our next activity? Can you tell me? For the simplify, what is the next activity we need to do? Yes, can you tell me? What would be the next activity we need to calculate?
Error, sir.
Why? How you can say error without getting the out value of the
Sorry,
O1?
sir. First output and then error.
First we need to calculate the input value of the O1 node. Okay, so input value of the node O1 can be calculated by our simple formula, that is summation of the I equal to 1 to n wi into xi. So what is wi? Of course w5 w6 I'm talking. So xi is what? Xi would be the input, that would be the h1 and h2, and that is the y's we have the, that is the b1. So here we have the y's b2 and weights which is given to 0.60. So that is the point we need to take care. Just we have seen the calculate our previous steps. So now we need to calculate the net value of the O1. Okay. So you can calculate. So you can utilize your formula and calculate these values. So just calculate and show me the your result, or you can tell me the result what you are getting. Okay, this step is clear, or should I explain once again? Just please tell me what we need to calculate.
Calculating, sir. Just a minute.
Okay. I'm giving the hint. You are required to calculate the net value of the O1 node. Okay, so calculating the net value of the H1 is similar to the calculating the net value of the O1 or vice versa. We can. So there's nothing is different. So
Sir,
what is
we need to add B2 also in that
net one?
for O1.
Yes, net O1 is.
No, so for the calculation of O1 input value, do we need to add B2 by sir?
Of course, bias is connected, so we have to calculate it. Of course, it is mandatory. If it is not connected, then it's okay.
Sir, I'm getting 1.93.
But I have the answer 1.10590595960.
Yes sir, यही आएगा 1.1055.
So can you tell me how did you get solution? So can you tell me the steps of the multiplication steps?
सर H1 का सर 0.5932 को जब 0.40 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो 2378 आएगा पॉइंट में 0.2378.
Okay.
एंड देन सर H2 के लिए जब 0.5968 को 0.45 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो सर आएगा आपका 0.2685 एंड देन सर P2 का 0.60 into 1.
Super. This is a steps actually. So this is the calculation we have to do. Okay, so because as we had calculated the net value of the H1, same thing we are doing with the O1. So we are not doing anything special. We are doing the same steps as we have done the previously. Okay, so now I'm sharing my solution without wasting much time. So I hope the other student can understand this is steps. We will repeat this process for the output layer neuron using the output from the hidden layer neurons as inputs we have done. So see, as we know, the O1 is our node, and which is connected with the two weights. One is a W5. Sorry, let me write correctly. W5 and W6. But what is the W6? W6, W5 are the weight of the our hidden node, and H1 and H2. H1 and H2. So these are our two nodes at the hidden layer. So this is the value. So this is connected by this one, and this is connected by this one. This is the actually reason. O1 is connected like this. So we are calculating the net value. So we need to calculate the net value and out value. So right now what we are calculating the net value of the O1. Okay, so that is the point. So net value of the O1 will be calculated by the H1. So what is the H1? So its out value. So we have to use its out value, and this out value will be as a input value of the our output layer or O1 node. But what is the weight? We have to do multiply. Okay, so this is the point. So I'm showing with the help of the arrow like this one. Okay, and W5, W6 is already given, so we are getting these values, and ultimately, and if you remember the bias, B2 is connected, and we have its value 1, but its weight is defined, that is a 0.60. Anything else? We are doing nothing, we are just multiplying. Now we got the answer 1.105. Now this step is clear, or anything you want to ask right now? The step is clear, how we are getting the values. So for solving a problem, you people are required to divide your information just like we have written over here, W5 into the out H1 plus W6 into out H2, and if other bits and other out H3, H4 are connected, and then write all the equations like this one, and at the last you people are required to add bias if it is given. Okay, so this step you people required to follow like this one approach. Now finally ultimate you will get the answer in correct. So now the concept is clear, how we are getting the net O1 value. Just tell me. Now this point is clear, how we are getting all these values, or
Yes, sir.
anything. So same steps we have done on our previous example, if you remember. And after this point, we have to keep in mind some important terms over here. We need to calculate the out O1. So we have to calculate the out O1 value. Just how we can calculate by using the our activation function simple formula. Okay, so that is the just out O1 will be calculated by the using the our logistic function, that is 1/1 plus e to the power x. Okay, so here you people can use any one of the activation function as we have discussed in our previous class. So you can use a ReLU, but is it required to use ReLU? No, because with the help of the sigmoid function we will get the value from 1 to 0. That is the reason. So at least the calculation will be done simplified in the neural network. So that is the reason in the neural network your values or the information must be lies between 0 and 1 only. So your calculation will be simple. That is the reason. Same out if it same the value we need to get to calculate the out O2 value. So before calculating the out O2 value, you people are required to calculate the net O2 value. Okay. So after calculating net O2 value, you will calculate the out O2 value. So after calculating the out O1, out O2 value, what we have to do? Okay, so what is the next step? So finally, we got the net O1 value, out O1 value, and out O2 value. So from this perspective, you have to check something. So what do we have to check? We have to check the error. As our desired result, we are expecting that we are going to the right direction or not. So if we are having the error, then we will use the backpropagation. So before choosing the backpropagation, let us understand, let us calculate the total error. Why I'm saying the total error? Because here we are not discussing only the one node. Here we need to discuss the multiple output node. We have here two. Suppose we have the one output node, then it's okay. So total error will be the part of the one output node. But here we have the multiple output nodes. So from this perspective, we have to say we have to calculate the error at each and every node, and then we have to sum up, and after that we will get the total error. Okay, so that is a simple formula. So let us understand the formula. What would be our formula? And the error would be, of course, we will talk about the square error, as I told you so many times, because error cannot be negative. So to transform your error into the positive way, you can use absolute function, or you can use representation of error into the absolute value. So error will be automatically for the positive way, or you can make the square. So square is better way because R means RMSE, that is the root mean square error. This concept we have already discussed, where we have to square in our error to get the error into the positive way. That is the only reason. So here we will talk about the square error. Okay, so that is formula. So now let us move to the next part, getting the error. Okay, just so far the concept is clear. This point is clear so far. How we are getting the out O1 value and out O2 value? Yes, tell me. So far, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So it's time to calculate the total error. So we can now calculate the error for each output neuron using the squared error function. As I'm speaking once again. Okay. So what is the formula? We know the simple formula. So we need to just use the square error function, and at the last we need to sum. Okay, as I told you. So this is formula we have to keep in mind. E total equal to the summation of the 1/2 to target minus output to square. So we will get this formula to get the our R. So now let us understand how we are getting. So now let us see what the value of the error we are getting. So error for O1. Okay, so please keep in mind. First, we need to calculate the error at the node O2 and O1. So first, we are calculating the O1. So error at the O1 node. So EO1 is our variable which is keep the information, or we are taking the values. We can say just only variable. So summation of the 1/2 target minus output square. So see 1/2. What is the target values? Target means our actual well, our expected, but actual output we are getting the 0.75. That is the point. Okay, so now let us understand what we are expecting. Now see this diagram. What is written over here? 0.01, and O2 is expecting 0.99. Okay, so if I'm talking about the target, means that is our expected. Okay, that is the predicted. Target means I'm talking about the predicted, 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 or we can say expected. Okay, sometimes you can say expected. Expected. So from this perspective, you will be able to see, and this output means we are getting the actual output after. So if I'm just putting all these values, so I'm getting the error in over nodes, that is 0.2748. Now, is it clear to all right now? Tell me, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And same all, if we try to solve this problem to get the error for the O2 node, then we are getting the 0.023. So what is the formula? What is the simple formula? Summation 1 by 2, target 0.99 minus 0.77 something. Okay, it is written over 0.7729. Okay, so ultimately you put the value, then you will get the value 0.023560026. Okay, so that is simple formula, you will get the same. So if we need to calculate the total error, so because we are talking, we need to see, we need to get the total error of the our model. Then we need to check in this model we have the error or not. The total error is required. Okay, so E total would be the error at the O1 node plus error at the O2 node. Okay, so we need to sum up all these values and then we will get the total error, that is 0.298371. So what is this value actually? See, this is value is known as the total error. Okay, so please note down all these values right now. Okay, so you people are required to note down all these values. So those who have noted down the yeah, this is not noted down the values. Net attachment value you have noted down. Okay, say speak fast. You have noted down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and just note down the values of the out H1 values and out H2 value. Those who have not noted down, so please note it down the fast. Just note it down the values. You can use only the 2 or 3 decimal, doesn't mean.
Done, sir.
Okay, and note down the values of the out O1 values. 111059059671. This is the out O1 values. Note it down.
Yes, sir. Oh, done.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, good. So you can also note down the value of the O2 as well. Out O1 and out O2 values. So from this slide, you will note down the value out O1 and out O2 values, because these values will require to solve your problem in the next slide. So if you're having, then you will understand. So we will not move back to the get all these values. Okay, note it down.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, super. And just please note down only the E total values. Okay. Or you can also note down the EO1 value and EO2 values as well. No issue. If you're noting down all these values, so please note down all the values and it will help you to understand the concept properly. Okay, so finally you people are required to note down the E total values. Okay, so that is 0.2983711109. Okay, so far it is clear. We have the error in our network. Okay, so that is the portion. So from this perspective, we have to apply the backpropagation. So what we have done, we have used step number 1. That is we have done the forward pass, or we can say forward feed forward neural network. So we have understood, we have seen the feed forward neural network. Okay, so that is the portion. But here backpropagation will be required where why? The question, because we have errors actually, and due to this uncertainty error, we have to apply the backpropagation. So before applying the backpropagation, just let me know the status. Any doubt you are having so far? Or now should I apply the
No, sir.
Okay, now should I apply backpropagation? Okay. Okay, so now next step is saying to us, see, this is the steps and for the more important steps. So backup propagation is saying to us, you people are required to update the weight. I'm repeating once again, there is only the weights can be updated, but you can't just see, listen. if I'm saying over here, you can update the weight. So you can't directly update the weight W1. Okay, that is it. Because you are moving from O1 to H1 and H1 to I1. Okay, you are moving from O2 to H2 or O2 to H1 because so many nodes are connected. So you are moving from output layer to hidden layer and hidden layer to the input layer. So you can't directly jump on the output layer to hidden input layer to update the weight speeds. That is W1, W3, W4, W4. Okay. So W1, W2, W3, W4 cannot be updated directly. There will be sequence and that is chain we have to apply. So first we need to keep in mind which portion you want to use, that is the O1 or O2. So if I'm choosing the O1 node and how many bits we have connected over here, that is W1 and W6. So from this perspective, we have to choose any one of the bit, that is W5, W6. Suppose I am choosing the W5 because it contains the minimum value, okay, of its bits. So W5 will be updated first, then W6 will be updated, then W7 will be updated, then W8 will be updated. And thereafter, we will update the W1, W2, W3, W4. And after updating all these weights or values, then we will start again feed forward neural network. Okay. But before applying the feed forward neural network, so let us understand how we can apply the backward propagation. But that is not an easy task. Okay, so this portion is clear. Why we cannot apply, why we cannot update the W1, W2, W3, W4 directly? Why we are updating the W5, W6, W7, W8 first? Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is just like in simple example. If you're moving from one city to another city, and in between we have the 10 stations. Okay, so you are not on the air. Okay, you are not going to the flight, you are going to the train. So you need to pass all those trains, all those stations which are coming inside the or which are coming between these two stations as you have decided. So you have to cover up the all those stations. Same things we have to apply over here. So we have to update the first W1, W5, W6, and then W7, W8. Okay, so that is a required portion we have to keep in mind. Okay, so now let us understand the concept. So now start the backward propagation. So at the output layer, we are considering the W5 is a weight, and we want to know how much change in W5 affects the total error. So that is our we have to use a partial derivation of E total with respect to the part. Okay, W5. So please note down all these values. This is a mathematically portion we have to keep in mind. So derivative people, you must be known to about the derivation. Okay. So let us listen. So how we can do this activity? So the partial derivation. So E total W5 we have. So this can be read as the partial derivative of the E total with respectively to W5. Why? I'm just taking the partial derivation because O1 is my node, O2 is the my node at the output here, and it is both are having the if I'm integrating the error of the both of the output nodes, so I found E total. So I need to update the W5 weight, okay, which is connected to the O1. Okay, that is the point people keep in mind. And W1 W5 is a node, W5 is a weight which is connected to the O1. So if I'm updating the weight W5 and which is connected to the O1, so I need to see what I'm updating. I just need to use the E total. Okay, we can say the partial derivative of the E total with respectively W5. So this is the notation you people we have to keep in mind. You can also use the you can also say this is the gradient with respectively or with respectively to the W5. So what we are doing, we are just trying to use the gradient, okay, in the mathematical. So by applying the chain rule, we know the partial derivative of E total with respect to W5, we can write like this one. Okay, so here I'm just taking partial derivation of E total with respectively out O1 multiplied by partial derivation of out O1 with respectively net O1 and partial derivation of net O1 with respectively to the W5. So this is a chain, and how we are getting this chain, let us understand this concept right now. Can anyone tell me how we are writing this information, partial derivation E total with respect to W5, like this one? Can anyone tell me? With the help of chain rule we are doing, but how we are understanding? Can anyone tell me right now? Yes, tell me.
So we could subtract it and divide it by the same values.
No, actually, we have to use a chain rule. So let us understand chain rule in the partial derivation with help of this image. I hope this image will help you to understand the concept right now. Okay, just look at the uh, above image. Okay, so just yeah, look at this image. We are talking about the error O1, and this error O1 will be used into the E total. So we are trying to calculate what we are trying to calculate, partial derivation of E total with respect to the W5. Okay, and W5 is connected to the O1. Okay, so as we know, O1 is a node which is following by the two parts. One is a net O1 and out O1. So if you're making a chain, then you must be follow the chain properly. So when you're moving from the E totals to the W5, okay, I can write over here. You will want to move E total to, I'm writing short way, E total to moving back E total to W5. Okay, just note down the my diagram I'm drawing over here, which will help you to understand the concept. In between, you have just note down there is an important node which are lying E total to W5, that is O1. Okay, now this portion is clear, and O1 is also divided to part. One is a net O1, that is net value of the O1, and out O1. Okay, so that is the reason. So we have to write this concept in simple way like this one. So from this diagram, you can say E total on out O1, we have to use partial derivation. So I have written over here now. Okay, and now I'm just using different color to of the values, other values. Yes. Then out O1 and net O1, out O1 and net O1 will make a partial derivation. We have this the derivation, partial derivation towards the out O1, partial derivation of the net, out O1 to with respect to the net O1. So we have this part. So I have just shown by the arrow. Okay. Now next you can understand this concept with the help of another arrow. So net O1 and W5. Okay. So partial derivation of the net O1 with respect to W5, we are having this portion. Okay. And ultimately, if we're using chain rule, then we will get the partial derivation E total with respectively W5. So that is the formula which is generated over here. Okay, so now this is clear right now. How we are getting the formula and how we are applying the chain rule. Okay, now tell me, this portion is clear? Yes. So here we are considering the W5. We will calculate the rate of change of the arrow with respect to we change the weight W5. Okay, so this portion is clear? Yes, tell me, because this is the most important steps. Or anything you want to ask right now, so you can ask me. If it is clear, then I can move to the next slide. Yes, ask me. Okay, so should I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
This portion is clear. Am I right now? How we are writing? So I have explained over here. Because E total to W5 over node is applicable, and it is divided to part net over and out over. So we have to use the chain apply rule. So how we have to write it? Okay. So now I'm explaining this portion right now. Since we are propagating the backward, so first thing we need to do, calculate the change in total error with respectively out O1, okay, and out O2. Okay, so we need to change anything right now. So first part we are calculating. What was first part? Partial derivation. See, first part we are calculating partial derivation E total with respectively partial derivation out O1. So we are trying to calculate this part right now. See this part. So what is the formula? The simple formula: target O1 minus out O1. Nothing else. Please keep in mind. So it can be written as a out minus target. You have to use some formula for understanding purpose as we have done. So out, or you can use the target minus out. No issue, you can use, or you can use a out minus target, and that is simple concept. Nothing else. Okay. So if you want to determine this thing, so you have to understand this concept. What is the formula of the total? So of course, target minus out, as we know. So this is the step. From these steps, we have to use this part right now. See, what is the formula? Actually, what is the formula of the E total actually? 1 by 2 target O1 minus out O1 whole square plus 1 by 2 target out O2 minus out O2 whole square. So we will take the values which are required to apply over here. Okay, so that is target O1 minus out O1. So we have to apply the minus at this part because we are reducing that part. We are getting the partial derivation. So from this portion, if I'm using the partial derivation on these equations, see, so definitely I will get negative value derivation. Okay, if I do the derivation, so I will get the minus target O1 minus out O1 plus 0. Okay, because this value will be 0. This value would be 0. So I can conclude this value would be 0. Why 0? Because the partial derivation with respectively out O1, this value will return the 0. Okay, so that is the reason. The partial derivation, if I'm doing of the up part of the E total, so I will get the 0. That is the reason. And put all these values, so we will get these values. Note down these values. This portion is clear. And I'm speaking over here something which is written over here. So for notes purpose, I will be leaving, but please keep in mind. So when you take partial derivation of the total error with respectively out O1, the quantity 1 by 2 target O2 minus out O2 becomes 0 because out O1 does not affect it, which means we are taking the derivative of the constant, which is 0. Okay, so this portion is clear. Yes, tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear. And now we will propagate the further backward to calculate the change in the output O1 with respect to total net value. Okay. So what is the next step? What we need to calculate from the above this formula? From the above this formula, we have calculated this portion. Now it's time to calculate this portion. Okay. Now let us understand how we are getting. So if I'm just trying to get the partial derivation out O1 divided by the partial derivation out O1 with respect to net O1. So what is the formula of the out O1 if you remember? What is the formula? out O1 is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus net O1. Can you remember this formula we have used for determining the out O1 values? If you remember, say yes or no. If you remember, we have used this formula to calculate the
Yes.
out O1. Okay, so do nothing. Just we need to see in this formula out O1 and net O1. See, here we are getting the both values net O1 now, net O1 and out O1. So if I'm using this formula to determine the partial derivation of out O1 with respectively net O1, so if I'm getting the derivation of such formula, so what I will get, I will get the this formula, that is out O1 multiplied by the 1 upon, multiplied by the 1 minus out of O1. And this is just nothing. This is the derivation of the our 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus net O1. So if you want to do the if you want to get the partial derivation, you can get the simple way. It is just like the simple derivation. You can use derivation of you can get the derivation of the e to the power x. Okay, with respect to what the x you can get. So we can write this formula like net plus, of course, net O1, okay, and 1 plus to the power net O1. So if I try to do this activities, definitely what I'm getting, I will get the x value. Okay. So this is simple formula. If I'm trying to apply, so I will get the out O1 multiplied the 1 upon 1 minus out O1. So I just need to put nothing. I just need to use the its derivation. So I'm getting the its derivation. So I'm getting this formula. And just do nothing. Just put the value. So you will get this values. Okay. So this is nothing what we are doing. We are just doing nothing. We are just getting the derivation, and we need to see where we can apply. So there is a formula where both values are applicable. So we will use this formula. Same thing. This is the E total formula. We have to know where out O1 and E total are coming. So we are using this formula to get the our values for the partial derivation, nothing else. Okay, that is the point you people are required to keep in mind. And after that point, we are putting the values and they are getting the our respective values. Yes, tell me. This concept is clear. We are doing nothing. We are getting the our partial derivation and nothing else. Partial derivation, actually, partial derivation means we are using a chain rule. We are doing the partial derivation, and with the respectively the derivation, they are solving the problem and nothing else. Now, this point is clear. So, mathematical, we are using the 10th standard mathematical, 12th standard mathematical to just get the our formula, nothing else special. Okay, this portion is clear. Anything you want
Yes,
to
sir.
ask? Right? Okay, this is just only the derivation of the our this formula, just e to the power x upon 1 plus e to the power x, nothing else special. And you can use the derivation of the towards the x, you will get the this formula, nothing else special. Okay, now we will put these values, and after that point, now let us see how much does the total net value O1 change with respect to W5. So what is the formula where W5 and net O1 is coming? As I told you, when we have calculated the net O1 value, where W5 and net O1 values are coming together. So just use that formula to apply the partial derivation and just do nothing. You just apply the derivation on such formula towards the W5, you will get it. So now at this time, what you are doing, you are just trying to calculate the derivation, or because of the partial derivation of net O1 with respectively W5. So definitely you will get this value. Net O1 and W5 are coming together. So this equation will be better to get the derivation. So the value which is multiplied along with our W5, that will be considered for calculation. Rest of the part becomes as a constant, so it will provide the zero values. So this becomes as a constant. And in this portion, W5 is not the important role. This becomes as a constant, so they are getting the value 0 as a constant. We are considering as a constant. And as we know, the derivation of the any constant value will get the value 0. Okay, so this formula will return the values 1 multiplied, of course, toward the W5. So 1 will become the 1 multiplied by out H1 multiplied by W5 and power 1 minus 1, and rest of the value we are adding over here plus 0 0 0 because this is the constant value. And just do nothing, just put the value of the out H1 and W5 and you will get this value. Okay, so this derivation is clear. How we are getting the values? We need to choose the appropriate equations as we have used. Okay, so for a betterment, just I'm moving back to the right. Net in the net H1 we have calculated, then we have used okay, so this one, yeah, this is net O1. So net O1 is the our equation where we have used the W5. Okay, the W5 and net 1 are coming together, so we will use this equation for our partial derivation where we have the net O1 partial derivation of net O1 with respectively W5. So this will be applicable. And now out O1 and net O1 is coming. So when we need to calculate the partial derivation of the net O1 with respect to toward the out O1, so we have used this formula. Okay, and this is the point where we found that when we need to calculate the E total. So from the E total formula, if you remember, where both both outcomes of both error in the O1 node and error in the uh, output node O2 is coming. So we will use these equations for getting the formula, and that is partial derivation. So we are coming the our better result. This one. Okay. So we are doing nothing. We are just applying the our partial derivation to get the result in simple way. Now we got this. So now tell me, the portion is clear. How we are getting, how we are solving all these values. We are not doing nothing especially. We are just getting the derivation portion. So just tell me right now, the portion is clear, or anything you want to ask right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
See, just that's why I told you, you people are required to note down all those values. So these values may be applicable anywhere. So you have noted down the values, but formula you have to keep in mind where we have how we are using the formula. So steps are necessary. Okay, and at the last, what we have to do? So first we have to use the forward propagation or forward pass propagation, that is also known as the feed forward neural network, or we can say the feed forward pass. And thereafter, if you're getting the error, then you ultimately you are just need to apply the back propagation. So before applying the back propagation, you have to make the partial derivation. So before determining the partial derivation, you need to determine the chain rule partial derivation properly. And from that portion, how we will apply the particular equations to get our partial derivation correctly, and that is a required portion we have to do. And after getting all these values, see, you can't directly calculate the partial derivation E total with respect to W5 because E total and W5 there is no relation. So very frankly speaking, is there a relationship between the E total and W5 bit? No, because in between O1 node is playing important role, and O1 node is divided into two parts, net O1 and out O1. So that is the reason we have to make a chain between all these two values, that is E total and W5. So that is the reason I'm using the partial derivation chain rule formula to make a simple idea. But when I'm designing these equations right now over here, then we have to calculate the partial derivation with respectively each and every value as we have seen. Okay, but how we can see and how we can solve this problem? So as I told you 2 minutes back, you have to calculate the partial derivation with respectively each and every statement, each and every variable as we have used. Okay, and we have to use the equation as we have used into the forward propagation. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. And ultimately, and last time is saying to us, you people are required to put all these values in the calculate the updated weight of the our W5. Keep in mind here we are updating the weight. Okay, so what was the update of the our W5? Keep in mind What was the updated weight? Before updating your weight, just let me know what is the previous weight. 0.40. I'm repeating, what was the previous weight of the W5? 0.40. So now if I'm putting all these values after calculating the thing over here, okay, thing over here, so you can note down partial derivation E total with respectively partial derivation with respectively W5 is equal to the partial derivation of E total with respect to partial with respectively out O1 multiply partial derivation of the out O1 with respectively net O1 and multiply the partial derivation net O1 with respect to W5. So put all these values as we have calculated and we will get this formula. That is, we will get the values that is 0.082160. So this is you are getting the partial derivation values. But updated values can be updated via the important aspect. So I'm speaking here, just listen, note down the something in your mind right now. The values of our weight will be updated by this formula. That is a old weight minus n multiplied by the partial derivation of E total with respectively W5. Okay, so this n is what this n is. This I'm writing over here. This is n is learning rate. Actually. This n is a learning rate. This is known as the learning rate. Okay. I'm writing here. This n is a learning rate. Is down on this value. Yes. So you can choose any random values from 0 to 1 of the learning rate. It's up to you. You can choose. I'm repeating once again. You can choose any learning rate value from 0 to 1. It's up to you. It should not be more than 1. Okay, and it should not be equal to 0. You can't take the 0. That is the point you people are required to keep in mind. You can't take 0. And if you're taking the 0, so what is the difference between the updated weight or old weight? Okay, so that is the point. So learning rate should be lies between 0 to 1 only, and you have to multiply by the its derivative portion as we have calculated. So W5 plus is equal to the 0.4. That was a 0.4 is what our old weight. Okay, so this is what if you remember, that is your old W5 value. Okay, as I shown you few minutes ago. And here learning rate I'm taking here 0.5. Okay, so you can take any one of the value, but you can't take a 0. Please keep in mind. Okay, so 0.5, that is the middle value I'm just taking. So 0.5 will be multiplied by the its calculative derivative portion. So that is we have this values over here. Okay, and after getting this solution, we will get the updated weight of the W5. That is a W5 plus W5 plus that is 0.3589 we are getting. So depend on the your learning rate values, it may change. But keep in mind while solving your problem, the learning rate you have decided that should be unique for updating the all the weights. It should not be the learning rate you are choosing the 0.5 for the calculating W5. You are choosing the 0.67 learning rate values for the W6 or W7 weight. No, the learning rate values you have decided that should be same for the all the weights for updating purpose. That is the point you people require. Okay, so now you got our updated weight, that is the W5, that is 0.35. So now what we have done, we have reduced the weight. Okay, yes, this portion is clear so far. The concept is clear. Yes, tell me. The portion is clear. How we have updated the weight.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so anything you want to ask right now?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
so okay, good. So what we have done, so we have, I will take only the 1 minute to just conclude my work right now. We can repeat this process to get the new weight W6, W7, W8. W6, W7, W8 are the weight which are connected with the O1 and O2 as well. Okay, so that is the point you people require to keep in mind. So W6, after updating W6, we will get 0.40866618. W7 we are getting a 0.155 0.511, and W8 we are getting the 0.5613. So if you remember the diagram, just let me show them my idea. W5 0.40, W6 0.45, W7 50, W8 55. Here we are getting the so many differences. Let's note down. So that is the reason we are updating. W5, W6 we are getting the 0.45 previously, old one. But here updating the we are getting the 0.40. So what we are doing, we are updating the weights, and you can do this activity for updating the W7, W8. Okay, so you can do this activity at your home to update your weight W7. Okay, that is the point. So the concept is clear how we can apply the backpropagation and how we can reduce the weight. Okay, so that is the reason. Yes.